that was very difficult for him. He loved hopping into the car, going into Kilkenny for a tea or a coffee, read of the newspaper. I was reminded yesterday, he even drove to Saltine in Galway, an ice cream, turned around and drove back to Durrow. He loved being on the road, loved the car. That was difficult. Shortly after that, might seem like a minor thing, but we had to move his bed from upstairs to the ground level in his house in Carrigan Street. That was difficult for him. After that, he had to move from Carrigan Street up to Cullyhill, where my sister took care of him, into Brookhaven for the last 3 years of his life. So both of which took exceptional care of him in Cullyhill and Brookhaven, as his condition got worse and deteriorated. As the effects of Parkinson's disease kicked in, there was then cancer, complete loss of vision in one of his eyes. He had knee surgery, but he always just carried on and he battled away as best he could, just being grateful for the chance to grow old and to see his family grow and his family get on in life. So this is where the patience comes into play, because despite losing all of that independence, he was always patient, he was understanding, he was accepting of his situation, but he always soldiered on and never once complained. I'd find it hard, I can probably count on one finger the amount of times I heard Dad complain over the years. So it was that resilience that really summed him up. No matter what challenges life threw at him, he always came out the other side stronger. Could be carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he was many times, and you could never tell, because he had such inner strength. He just played the cards that he was dealt, and more often than not, he would prevail. So I don't want to paint a one-sided picture of a life full of hardship, because definitely he enjoyed life to the full as well. He definitely lived life to the max. He was blessed with a big family that loved him very much. He was always happiest, always most proud when he was surrounded by his many, many grandkids. Happy to see his own kids go to college, graduate from college. Even today, on his funeral, his eldest sister graduates from college, so that's fitting. Happy to see his kids get married, start out with their own families. Happy to the simple things in life, meeting up with his best friend Albert Townsend for his quiet pint down in Bob's Bar. That's not a plug for Bob's Bar. You could find them in Faulty's or Dex either. So, Dad loved his hurling. That's another thing. He loved sport, loved hurling. You could see him standing at the top of Carrigan Street, chatting for hours on end with Sean Cashin, otherwise known as the Toucher, or Mr. Harp's GAA, talking about hurling. And I just found out last night that his burial plot is right next to the Toucher Cashin, so that should be fun. They can resume their chats a couple of weeks before the hurling championship starts up again, so that'll be interesting. But definitely, he loved his sport, loved his hurling. He loved Durrow. He loved the people in Durrow standing out in the front of the house, in the doorway, saying hello to people going up and down. He loved the walks, the long wooded walks around the town as well. But really, just to sum him up, he was a man of few needs. He enjoyed the simple things in life. So a cousin of mine summed it up well. The best way that we can honour Dad's legacy, it's really just to keep him alive in our minds, keep him alive in our hearts. Most importantly, keep him alive in our actions, as he was our actions every day. He was a fantastic role model, great reference point and a role model for me and my siblings and a lot of people that knew him. As we try and navigate the challenges and the trials and tribulations of parenthood and just life in general, he's always a great reference point. So lastly, I just want to say thanks to my siblings, to his brother Tony, his sister Margie, all of those who helped comfort him during what was a very difficult last few years. It's especially hard for me to watch, almost helplessly from 5,000 miles away, but gave me great comfort knowing he was surrounded by people who loved him a lot, took such good care of him. Also want to reserve a special thanks for my wife and my family in Arizona. She always encouraged me, always supported me to come back, spend as much time as possible with Dad and with family since I emigrated 17 years ago now. So special thanks to my wife. So now that Dad's suffering is over, may he rest well in heaven's bed. and we'll see him again when our time comes. So, thanks for everything, Dad. Love always from your grateful family.
Saints of God, come to his aid, hasten to meet him, angels of the Lord. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. May Christ who called you take you to himself. May angels lead you to Abraham's side. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. Let perpetual light shine upon him. Receive his soul and present him to God the Most High. Into your hands, Father of mercies, we commend our brother in the sure and certain hope that together with all who have died in Christ, he will rise with him on the last day. We give you thanks for the blessings you bestowed upon him in this life. They are signs to us of your goodness and of our fellowship with the saints in Jesus Christ. Merciful Lord,